Dames en heren, welkom bij de Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. Deze game is fantastisch. Ik heb zelf de Stanley Parable 1 gespeeld. Dus de allereerste. Dat was toen het nog een mod was. En nu zijn we terug met Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. We gaan deze samen spelen. Dus ik ben benieuwd of jullie hem leuk vinden. Ik zou zeggen, have you played the Stanley Parable before? Yes, of course. Please adjust the slider until the computer is barely visible. Oké, dat gaan we doen. Dus de computer is now barely visible. Zo. Please enter the current time. The current time is... Wat is de current time? Wacht, ik heb mijn telefoon hier toch? Of heb ik hem nou niet meer hier? Ik heb mijn telefoon niet hier. Ik weet niet wat de current time is. Ik gok maar. Oh, wacht, het is... bijna 9 uur. Dus 9 AM. After midnight. Boom. Note. Accessibility settings can be accessed from the main menu. We gaan beginnen. Sorry, ik moest een boertje laten. De Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. We gaan beginnen met de game. De game is klaar te starten. The end is never, the end is never, the end is loading. Oké, the end is loading.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
Dat weet ik nog van de eerste game.
427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Ben blij voor Stanley.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Oké, de Stanley Parable is een game dat gaat over de keuzes die jij maakt. Dus stel, jij wilt naar links gaan, of je gaat dan naar rechts, dan maakt de narrator, dus zeg maar de verteller, die maakt een heel ander verhaal. Dus dat is het leukste aan deze game.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Nou, dan gaan we naar de meeting room. Let's go dan. We gaan naar de meeting room. Ja, de meeting room is gewoon prachtig. Ik wil gewoon naar die meeting room toe. Naar links. Oké, nou, we zijn nu nog niet bij de meeting room.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Nou komt het. Ik heb 2 keuzes. Ik kan de linkerdeur pakken, of ik kan de rechterdeur pakken. Maar de meeting room is dus aan de linkerdeur. Wat gebeurt er nou als we naar rechts gaan?
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Dus we gaan nu naar de employee lounge. Dus de medewerkers pauzeruimte. Dus volgens mij is dat de Nederlandse vertaling.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring.
Stoeltje.
It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Nou, we gaan weer door.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nou, dan gaan we naar links. Kijk, en dan zijn we weer terug bij het verhaal.
He detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Nou, we zijn hier, jongens.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Alright. Bi-quarterly post-review review. Okay. We need employees' reviews. 402 and 406 wants to get rid of the dead spot proportion in the primary review schedule. But I think that's a stupid idea. More water coolers. More water cooler heaters. Charts needs to be more hip too. Appeal to the teenage. Dat kan ik niet lezen. Find teenagers to put in. Teenage demography. Demography big net. Some sort of child map. Oké, dat is graag. Nou. What do people want? Things. Money. More money. Things but with money to buy more things. Graphs. Graphs about things plus money. Wel duidelijk. Alright. If you ever find yourself in a conflict, what are you free to do? Nature, talk, transcend, charts, mitosis, a boat, football, travel, metamorphosis. Alright, okay. Tips for getting not fired. Talk less. Do unbelievably amazing work all the time, every day, with no expectation of promotion or recognition. Don't get fired. How to solve a dispute at a spot, a dispute with a coworker. Let it ball up. Ik kan niet lezen, ik ben veel te traag. Oh. Oké. To do. Cyanize. Core value expenditures. Shift global marked parade. Oké. Monetize. Free to play. Ik vind het zo grappig dat ze ook een beetje de gamemarkt hier een beetje voor schut zetten. De Broomclass editing. Ik verraad al een hele hoop. Maar dat komt omdat ik deze game al gespeeld heb.
Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Maar het schijnt dus dat in deze versie nieuwe einden zijn toegevoegd. Want je hebt verschillende einden. En we gaan nu de normale einden doen. En dan weer in de volgende video doe ik weer een ander einde. En dan weer een ander einde. We gaan gewoon eigenlijk verschillende eindes doen. Misschien dat ik er vandaag wel 2 doe. Want deze einde is zo voorbij. En ik zit pas 7 minuten van mijn opname. Dus misschien dat ik nog meer kan doen. Let's go. We zijn in de baas in kantoor.
Manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Oh, ik vergeet 4, sukkel. 2845.
Yet incredibly,
let's go.
By simply pushing random buttons on the keyboard, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck.
Bro.
Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Hij zegt dat ik random buttons aan het drukken was. Maar het grappigste was, hij zei net zelf die code. Dus ik ben helemaal niet random buttons aan het doen. En we gaan naar beneden. Met de lift. Met das elevator. Wie wie.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Let's go. We gaan kijken wat onze baas...
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
We gaan kijken wat voor geheimen onze baas heeft. Een Mind Control Facility, dat kan niet goed klinken.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself.
Ja, daar ben ik ook
Did
niet.
he have the strength to find out?
Ik heb geen idee of hij de kracht heeft om het uit te vinden. Narrator, daar gaan we achter komen. Met Stanley.
Now the monsters jumped to life. No! Nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building. Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen. And Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Geen vrijheid. Waar is 427? 427, 427. Daar zijn wij. Look. Over there. Very nice. Very good, very nice. Let's go.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it.
Wow.
He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions.
Offline.
Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Gaan we doen. Drukken we op on of gaan we op off? We gaan naar off. Hallo game. Daar is hij hoor. Het einde van de Stanley Parable.
Darkness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine. Unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone?
Nou, dat weet ik niet.
How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Oké, mag ik naar buiten? Mag Stanley naar buiten?
Stanley
Ik ben
felt
buiten.
the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was
Mooi, man.
exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Ja, ik ben blij voor Stanley, man. Stanley, the legend. We hebben een achievement. Beat the game. Sick. Wacht, maar beat the game. We zijn weer terug. Ja. Je gaat altijd terug. Altijd terug naar het begin. Nou, we gaan denk ik nog een einde doen. Nou, dat kan wel.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a
We gaan
memo.
dit keer niet naar de meeting room. We gaan naar een andere kamer.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Yes, dat gaan we doen. Maar we gaan vandaag, met deze einde, gaan we alles doen wat de narrator ons zegt. Gaan we alles negeren. We gaan gewoon alles negeren wat de narrator zegt. We doen gewoon ons eigen plan. We trekken ons eigen plan. Als ze zegt naar links, gaan we dat niet doen. Gaan we gewoon lekker rechtdoor. Fuck jou, narrator.
Yes, this room.
Doei.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nope. Daar had ik bijna, narrator. We gaan niet naar
Stanley was
rechts.
so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Oh. Do not jump from the cargo lift while it's on motion. Will cause death. Penalty for misuse of the cargo lift, 1000. Penalty for jumping off the cargo lift, 5000. Maar, dat wil zeggen als ik hier naar beneden spring, dat ik dan 5000 euro boete krijg. Dat is leuk, maar dat gaan we niet doen. We gaan hier
Look, Stanley, I think
naar
perhaps
rechts.
we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
Ga
I'm
daar
not
door die
your
deur.
enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing.
Hoppa.
Really?
Dat is mijn boete.
Do
Dat
you
is
have
5000
zero
dollar.
consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why,
Ja.
I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful.
Oeh.
Let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Nee, gaan we niet doen. We gaan door de blue door. Haha, fuck jou, narrator.
Perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
Nope, blue door.
I still don't think we're communicating properly.
Het tellen ook gewoon, dat is zo mooi.
Through the red door.
Nee, we gaan door de
Alright,
blauwe.
Fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't
Ja.
let me stop you.
Oh,
You see? There's nothing here.
nog blauw
Haven't even
drukken.
finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you?
Ja,
Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did.
sorry.
And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help
Ja.
me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees?
Ja, skill
Work
trees,
with me.
man.
You've given me absolutely nothing so far.
Wow.
Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This
Whoa.
already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go
Okay.
ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Gaan we door de derde deur? Ja, man.
Okay, I'm going to stop
Oh.
you there. Now,
We gaan raten.
tell me about your experience with this new version. Would
Okay.
you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. Oh, of course. A 3. Really? Maybe next time we can get you to form an actual opinion, you know? Any
Hij is een
level of
beetje
critical
boos.
thinking or engagement with your surroundings? Does that sound good? Think we can do that? Yes? Wonderful. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version.
Oh.
And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Ben benieuwd, maatje. Hey, een skill tree. De Stanley Parable World Leaderboard. Waar sta ik? Waar staat Stanley? Waar is Stanley? Good O'Neill staat bovenaan met 2 seconden, dat is best netjes. Ik sta helemaal op de 9328ste plek. Oké, een beetje teleurstellend. Nou, we gaan hier naar binnen.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now
I'm
would be a
excited.
lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up. In this game, the baby crawls left towards
Vuur.
danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So
4
why
uur.
don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Nee, gaan we niet doen. We gaan geen virus spelen. Sorry, baby. Sorry. Sorry.
You heartless bastard.
Ja, I know.
Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the
Tweede.
latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm out. I'm done.
Yes, het is me gelukt. Doei, narrator. Was
Thank you
gezellig.
for playing. Your input was extremely valuable.
Nou, dankjewel.
Hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes. This seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Oké, welke game gaan we spelen?
Ah, fascinating. What do you think this game is about?
Nice.
Stanley? What's our
Firewatch.
backstory? What is our motivation?
Dit ziet zo leuk uit.
Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man, spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted, erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
Oeh, gaan we kijken? Nice. We mogen free roamen. Oh. Gas. We gaan even kijken, jongens. In de wilde natuur. Ik gooi blikje in de water. Ik vind het helemaal mooi.
No, it can't be. It is. It's an open world game.
Tuurlijk.
Oh God, quickly, block it off.
Nee. Aww.
Thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You really wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls. Okay, I think this will be just the thing.
Oké, welk spel gaan we nu spelen? Rocket League. Serieus.
See, this is exactly what I had in mind.
Alle games.
Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed. Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together. Yes, I think surely we must.
Okay,
Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
Oh. Ja. Ja. Come on, Stanley. Maak het doelpunt.
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on? Stanley, I have a thought. And I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then surely multiple balls makes for an even more euphoric sports experience. I'm going to try it out. Here comes another ball. Yes! Oh goodness, that really does feel amazing, doesn't it? Stanley, I'm like a child in a confectionery shop. I simply have to have more. I'm insatiable. More balls!
Wat een chaos ineens. Hop, hop. Ja, let's go, let's go. Vat die... Mag ik nog niet scoren? Kom
Are
op!
you enjoying this, Stanley? Are you having fun? Is this a real video game? Well, I sure hope you're having a good time, because guess what? It's over. That's right. Your little fun comes to an end. This is my game, and what I say goes. You get to have fun when I let you, Stanley. Besides, you need someone like me to
Oh.
set boundaries for you. Without rules or boundaries, video games are nothing. Yes, that's what I am. I'm structure. I'm your sense of purpose. And since you decided you didn't want to play my game, now I don't want to play with you either. So, goodbye, Stanley. I'm leaving. See how you like it when I'm not around to set the rules. Somehow, I don't think you'll
Doei.
enjoy it.
Ik ga eerder. Haha.
Hold on. What are you doing?
Lekker voor je. Ik ga gewoon eerder. Oh,
Stanley,
nou.
don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You...
Oh, zijn we in de beta van het kantoor of zo? Het lijkt namelijk een beetje op een kantoor. Waar is dan 427? 427? 423? Is daar mijn kantoor? Met de lamp? Four, two, seven. Daar zijn we. Moet ik hier nog wat doen? Is dit het? Moet ik nog wat dingen doen? Oh.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
No. Arme narrator. The end is ever the end is loading. Dames en heren, dit was de allereerste aflevering van de Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe hier op Rick's Gamebunker. Ik hoop dat jullie het leuk vonden. Ik ga proberen elke woensdag deze video te uploaden. En ik hoop jullie volgende week weer te zien. Dus ik zou zeggen, tot de volgende video. En abonneer, zodat je niks mist van de nieuwste games. Ik zou zeggen, houdoe.